yeah, absolutely. The big controversy has been the absence of any women.
Exactly.
Here we go.
Yeah, quite.
Like on this panel right now.
Gotta be careful, haven't we?
Yeah.
Oh well.
That's, you know, and the BBC have said they're going to look at the procedure and all this kind of stuff, but
Which women do you think could have made the list, Matt? I know this is putting you in a corner now, isn't it?
I know it is, but you look at Jess Ennis, and she is a personality, really.
Yeah, she is. Yeah,
she's the golden girl of English athletics or British athletics, and you know, world silver medal's not that bad.
No.
I mean, that was a little while ago, but you know, I'm more talking in generalities here of the kind of people that, you know, rather than specifically for this year.
She was nominated last year, right?
Yeah, and you know, people like Rebecca Adlington and people like this, and
you can't even argue that they've been omitted so that they can focus on the Olympics, because you've got the likes of Mo Farah in the in the main selection.
I mean, I think it is interesting how they arrive, because it's immediately like, you know, if you win something, right, they're in. Like Di Green, he won the world gold, right, he's in. You know, but and then you look at, you know, Andrew Strauss. Well, he's in because the team did well.
Yeah.
But Ali Cook's in there, and it's a very difficult.
You could have had Ian Bell in there, couldn't you? For me,
well, yeah.
Jimmy Anderson, lots of individuals.
Well, but Swanee, he'd be a personality.
Yeah.
That's why.
Well, that's why I think it's badly timed. It's not really that.
Team of the year, should get it, should they?
The cricket team.
They
should do.
Because it was the Ashes obviously just came.
Well, yeah, it's more the I think getting to number one. It's
India as well.
It really is.
The sports personalities always, you know, a good thing that they do is the tribute bit. Without trying to take this set down any other, you know.
The Beckham moment was incredible.
Yeah. Well, no, it's good. And this year there'll be the Gary Speed. It's not something we talked about.
We can discuss that, actually.
Yeah, I hear that Leeds are naming a suite, I think, at Ellen Road after him. Such a shock. It really was. It was absolutely dreadful.
I think they've had to delay that. They were going to have special minutes applause and everything, but they had to delay that because his wife wants to be there. She's going to be at Newcastle, I think.
There was a wonderful tribute before the Arsenal-Man City game when I was there. I don't know whether you saw it on telly. Basically, the majority of tributes that have taken place before a game, it's a case of we're going to have a minute's silence and everyone starts applauding. What happened at Arsenal was his picture came up on the big screens as the players got around the centre circle, and as the announcer was reading out, you know, he played for Leeds for however long, all the background to his life, the applause continued throughout that spontaneously.
Yeah.
And then once he'd finished, there was actually a period of immaculately observed silence as well.
Yeah, that's the best, isn't it?
And then some fans started singing One Gary Speed and the applause started again. It was incredible. It was so sincere, and I've never heard anything like that where you've had the applause and the silence. It really was a fantastic tribute. And it's been disclosed by Sporting Chance, the charity that Tony Adams set up. Yeah. At the end of his career. That they've had a lot more contact from professional footballers regarding mental illness
and stuff.
You know, as awful as it is, all you can ever hope with tragedies is that some good will come out of it. It was the same with the Dan Weldon accident.
Yeah.
You know, all you can hope is that safety improves from it. It's dreadful. You don't want these things to happen to, you know, facilitate anything good coming out of it. But if it can.
But with Dan, I mean, we knew what the problem was. I mean, we're still a bit unclear, aren't we? I mean, we presume it's depression.
With Gary Speed,
you could speculate and say some big revelation in his life. Will we ever know?
Well, that's what makes it so awkward, isn't it?
It's hard. It's hard to discuss. It's very hard to get your head around. It shakes your faith in a lot of things because. You know, you assumed that Gary Speed, the man, was Gary Speed as he is on the football pitch, Mr. Dependable.
Yeah. By all accounts, he was, according to all his friends.
And that's that's probably the scariest bit about it.
Yeah.
Is that it, you know,
some demons were there throughout.
Yeah.
I think.
But as with, you know, other tragedies we've had recently, people are starting to look back at what he did and you know, delight in how good he was and, and look back at his achievements. They were incredible.
You often hear when someone dies, everyone says, "Oh, what a nice guy." You just say it, don't you? But there's no bad words to it.
It's tragic. It's awful that the most recent tragedies have all been like that. Dan Weldon was exactly the same. Even Simoncelli, You know, everyone said how nice he was.
Yeah.
You know, it's just another real tragedy. Made all the worse by the fact he was by all accounts a really nice guy. Or a good guy.
Gary Speed, I think there were some issues when he left Everton, I believe. Which he's always sort of said he did have good reason for.
Yeah, and there's
the Everton fans have been very strong in the backing, haven't they?
And there's always going to be something. You don't go through a 22 or however many years career it was without something coming up like that. It's the nature of the beast. But yeah, very sad. But hopefully, you know, there'll be some appropriate tributes, lasting tributes. And everyone can look back on a fantastic career that I'm sure would have been just as good in the managerial arena.
Absolutely, he was just starting to get his feet.
It's desperate.
He's not been a manager long. I mean, he was hardly at Sheffield United for very long.
Very short amount of time.
And Wales, who knows, could be
maybe
the next major champ.
Maybe that can be his legacy.
Yeah, well, he's got a good group of young players, and you know, you heard he was chatting about it to people like Shearer and Savage on the day he died. You know, he was still really up for it. Right, guys, it's that time of Commentator's Corner, a regular section, as we like to say. Best recent sporting moment. I'll go first, as always. Bit of a joke one, as usual. I thought it was very funny when Alex Ferguson took a sort of distaste to the question that, well, it was more of a statement, wasn't it, from the journalist saying that the English clubs, particularly City and United, have been struggling in Europe, to which he sort of said, you know, struggling, we're not struggling, and then left. But the whole time, my favourite bit, he was just grinning. He wasn't particularly angry.
No,
I don't think.
No, it was like an episode of The Office. For
it
like
was,
1 second, it was just The Office.
I think
that level of awkwardness.
Yeah,
it was pathetic. In my mind. It was, you know, it was just very childish, petty. You know, I mean, everything that happened with the BBC. You know,
of course.
It was just
imagine if anyone else had done that. You know, like the papers would be saying,
Martin.
"Oh my God, Martin!" Martin has just walked out.
He gets away with it. But
Villas-Boas, you know, like if he just wandered off, you know, like.
Yeah.
But it was barely in the headlines, was it? You're absolutely right. Villas-Boas.
No, people like the BBC commentary team, you know, were just on Twitter like, well, you know, this funny thing happened today.
Yeah,
it's not. You can't.
Well, I've said it.
Well, exactly. This is it.
Next up, Rob.
Yeah, I'm afraid it is going to stick with United, roughly, and it is going to stick with football. I thought Darren Ambrose's unbelievable strike in the Carling Cup. I mean, that is everything you go and watch a football game for.
Yeah.
That is football in one bite-sized chunk. You can watch it over and over and over and over. Yeah. It's still going quicker when it hits the back of the net.
Was it Gary Neville analysing said he thinks it's possibly one of the best opposition goals he's seen?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, congratulations to Crystal Palace.
Great.
I mean, United were poor, but it's still a great win, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
It's like when Coventry won there a few years ago in the League Cup. You know, you can say what you want about the side that United put out, but you still got to...
You've got to give them the credit, right?
Yeah.
You've got to go to Old Trafford and do it.
Absolutely.
There's still 50,000 odd people there as well. Matt,
I'm going to cross the Atlantic and I'm actually going to go with some American football. I'm going to go with the Green Bay Packers' continued unbeaten start to the NFL season. Absolutely incredible. They're
so difficult in that sport to keep up.
Yeah, well, I mean, the holy grail in the NFL is the unbeaten season.
Yeah.
It's attainable. It's not like it is when Arsenal did it in association football. It's very attainable there, as hard as it is. The closest were the Patriots a few years ago. They got all the way to the Super Bowl, having won all their regular season and obviously playoff games, and lost to the Giants, I think.
Yeah.
So, you know, and the Dolphins actually did it about 20-30 years ago. But the Packers are 11-0, I think now, maybe 12-0. So they're 3 or 4 or 5 games away from getting through the regular season. They're the defending Super Bowl champs. They're likely to have the number 1 seeding for the playoffs. So any teams who are going to beat them are going to have to go through Lambeau.
They've already created a legacy, haven't they? Really?
Oh yeah, but you know, anyone's going to have to go through Lambeau Field. The conditions, Aaron Rodgers has been absolutely incredible. NFL at the moment, you've got 3 quarterbacks who are all on track to beat Dan Marino's single season passing yards record.
No,
Manning's been injured this season.
Yeah.
At the moment, it's Brady, Breeze, and Rodgers. and they're all putting up 300-400 yards a game. It's incredible, fantastic standard at the moment. But yeah, I think their start to the season has just been incredible. It's been exciting, lots of touchdowns, lots of yards put up, and they're gonna, it looks like they're gonna be able to do that as the year turns and the weather gets colder. They still like their passing game even when the weather turns, and it's going to be a very tough ask for anyone to beat them now.
You had the privilege of watching the Wembley match.
It was fantastic. Yeah. Not two of the most glamorous sides. The Bears have got a fantastic pedigree, and the Bucks obviously won the Super Bowl in 2002. But it was a great atmosphere. It was a home game for the Bucks. And there's quite a strong Bucks contingent over here, as well as the Bears. Actually, they're still very popular. But it was fantastic. It's meant to be an event. That's the difference with, you talk about some of the changes that people want to make with the Premier League and taking a 39th game abroad. It's very different with football. NFL is an event. Every game is meant to be like that. It's like a show, and it really felt like that at Wembley. And hopefully next year there'll be 2 games. Long term likelihood of a franchise, I can't see it happening personally, just because of the logistics involved. But
it's been successful, hasn't it?
I think that the closest they'll get is having a team like Tampa, who've been mooted to have regular home games every year at Wembley. So every year they'll play 1, maybe 2 games of their home games in Wembley.
Yeah.
And I think for a team in Florida as well, it's doable for fans from there. If they
a lot of English connections there as well.
Yeah, it will quite exactly. So the NFL's hotting up towards playoffs.
That's in my head. My time's up, but that's 2 potential debates. Firstly, the franchise and whether it could happen in the Premiership.
Yeah.
The other one is the playoff system and whether or not it's fair that a team can win all the regular season games but end up getting knocked out in the first round. But that's where we're going to leave it, Matt.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for joining us again. As always, keep your comments to the website downrightsport.com coming in. Your texts are appreciated, Facebook messages and the Twitter. So yeah, thank you guys, and we will see you very soon.